you've got all your tracks recorded, everything, you've started the mix process, you've gotten your hands dirty with plugins and having fun with automation and trying to make it sound the best that it possibly can. But how do you know when the mix is actually done? We all know that mixing is essentially solving problems because within all of those tracks that we recorded, they conflict with each other a lot, whether it be frequencies, volumes, different tones for things. There's definitely a lot of issues that arise in a mix. Now, the first problem in any mix is poorly recorded tracks. You can't fix that in the mix. You can't fix it in post. So taking time to make sure you get it right the first time, taking those extra steps to make sure that it's recorded as clear and professionally as possible for whatever source that you're working with, that is going to be key to success for 90% of what's going to happen. Now, my mix process, how I finish everything, because we all fall into those rabbit holes of always tweaking and, this guitar tone maybe change a little bit, this keyboard, this pad. We're always tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, but we're not finishing a lot of things. How do we know when the mix is finished? That's the bottom line. Let's talk about my process that I used. Now, I've adapted this over the years from different people, from others that I've learned from. And one of the biggest kind of examples that I think of in my head is, when you were in like middle school or something and you're playing, Heads Up, 7 Up. You remember that? Everyone, put your head down, put your thumb up, and walk around and press your thumb down. It's kind of how I approach finishing a mix. Now, obviously, I don't tell my tracks, hey, put your head down. That doesn't work. But essentially, what we do, we step back. You're not allowed to do anything. You press play, and then you find the issues. Essentially, putting the thumb down on those issues. Now, how I do that, most of the time, I write it on a piece of paper or type it out in my notes app on the computer or on my phone. Just listening in its entirety. Don't stop it. Don't hear something, stop, fix, and then keep playing. Listen in its entirety, and then take your notes. At the end of the song, go back to the beginning or wherever the first issue may have been. Maybe the vocal needs to come up just a little bit around the second verse. Maybe about halfway through, the bass guitar seems a little thick. Maybe the snare drum needs to come up slightly for the entire song. Go through your list and fix those issues, fix those problems, and then start the process over again. Go back to the beginning of the song, listen again, make new notes. Sometimes those original issues that you fixed may cause some conflict somewhere else. And that's okay. That's all part of the process for everything. But, keep doing this and repeating it until your list gets to 0. Once the list is at 0, good chances are that your mix is finished. Now, one thing I will say, because I've been guilty of this, is don't let your ego get in the way of this process. 9 times out of 10, when you finish a mix, it's not going to be perfect the first time. If you think everything sounds great already, have somebody else listen to it. Somebody who collabed on the track with you. Maybe another producer friend or engineer or another musician that you trust and has a good ear for music, because again, we want to have fun, but we want to take what we've done and get this out to the world to enjoy as well. We want to connect with listeners as well. So don't skimp on this process. It may seem tedious and it may take a while depending on certain tracks. Everything's different, but taking the time to get this process done is going to set you up for a wonderfully great mix and good end product that you can then get out to the mastering, to that next stage, and get everything set up to really give some great results. Now, if you like, kind of put together processes and templates, I do have a template for Studio One, a mixing template that I've put together that kind of simplifies some things to where you can take all your tracks and then you put them in folders. You group them up by instrument type. So drums folder, electric guitars, acoustics, basses, everything kind of grouped into its own folder, essentially its own, bus for things that you can go in and usually when I'm finishing up a mix, 90% of the time, probably close to 98% of the time, I'm not touching individual tracks. I'm really working with the buses themselves to make sure everything is kind of balanced and sounding great. So, of course, there's outliers, and yeah, sometimes you do have to tweak something on an individual track. It's not a problem. Things happen, and could be the best solution for what you're trying to accomplish too. But if you would like that template, go to floodwaterstudios.com/template, enter your email. You'll get it sent over to you right away. Now, take this. I challenge you. The next time you're trying to finish up a mix, go through this process. Listen without touching anything. Write down your notes. Go fix those issues and keep repeating that process until your list is 0. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one. But until then, go record something, then mix it. See ya.